What's up, guys? So I wanted to do a follow-up video, my original Fundrise investor video, which I will put in the upper right-hand corner for you guys. But basically, it's been about 10 months or so since I initially invested into Fundrise, and you can see the dashboard, I guess, here about how much money I've earned since I invested. So I think the exact date I invested was June 23rd of 2017, and I've made about $50 from that. $1,000 investment, of course. Um, so, in all reality, not I guess too impressed with it. It's kind of cool knowing that I'll be able to, I guess, keep my money in here and whatnot. And it kind of gives an idea and an overview as to what they've invested in over the past couple of years. And you can see, I guess, where your money is going. Like $26 of my $1,000 is in this single family house in DC. I have some D grade property in South Carolina, some apartment complexes in Florida, Albuquerque, New Mexico. $20 here, $20 there. So it's kind of cool. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not really getting any upside. I might be getting some of the cash flow that's coming in every month, but like the real question I still have at the end of the day is if they flip any of these properties, like, am I going to see any of that, or is this going to kind of just be me getting a portion of that 6% cash flow that I've kind of been getting? So that's kind of where I'm coming from at the moment. So check out. Maybe not performance is the best thing to do, but I guess the total transactions and everything since we've gotten here to date. So here's my total principal invested. I reinvest all my dividends, and I think I can't touch it for another like 4 years. I think if you take it out within a year, you lose 5%. If you take it out within 2 years, you lose like 3% or something like that. So only after like 4 or 5 years can you actually get all your money out unscathed and whatnot. So keep that in mind as well if you invest with Fundrise. But this is really the distribution of what I'm invested in. So um, I think this goes like A all the way through like F level properties or something like that. But I think these greens are still B level, and I think these are like C level properties, and only down here do you get to like D level. So I think it goes from like A1 all the way to like D3 or D4 or something like that. So it kind of spreads it evenly. So I think these are more aimed towards like appreciation plays, and then these are pure income, whereas I'm kind of in the middle of specifically being like a balanced investor, which you see I invested June 13th, sorry, not the 23rd, $1,000. So you can see every quarter or so I'm getting around 15 or so dollars, so it's like 1.5%. So it's not anything too life changing in terms of like investing, but 6.5% dividend isn't horrible. But like I said, like where's my potential capital appreciation? Like they do a good job of like keeping you updated and like letting you know what type of uh, investments they're making in a particular fund. But it looks like I'm just still like really curious, and it's like telling me how my total returns are just gonna like explode over the next like 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it's like that's great and everything, but it's like I don't understand how I'm gonna go from like a 6% all the way to within 20 years potentially like quadrupling my money in this funnel. So it's kind of interesting, and not really entirely sure if this is something I would recommend per se, or if I would more so just go with like a regular real estate investment trust within the stock market, like Realty Income Corp, Starwood Property Trust, or WP Carey, some of the other investments that I own. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, but I'm definitely not like I guess fully satisfied. I guess I expected a little bit more. While I still feel like I said earlier, transparent, and I'm getting some sort of income from it. Like I guess I'm just like maybe I didn't invest in the right thing. Maybe I should have gone more with the appreciation play. But it's like I don't see how they can give me an idea as to like what the appreciation play is. Like they're very good about telling me, what they're investing in, like this Washington D.C. apartment complex and like all these different things that they've invested in. But like I'm not seeing, I guess what type of like I guess updates they're gonna do, right? Like they purchased this place, like are they just gonna purchase it and potentially like renovate it and then rent it and like flip it for more? Like if they do flip it for more, am I gonna, they talk about like what they acquired it for and stuff like that, but anyway, so I mean, here they're showing that they're gonna like add some stuff, but it's like, okay, they add stuff. Is it gonna give me more rent roll? Like, has my like $20 or $30 at like of what my portfolio is that now gonna be worth like 15% more? If you're planning on holding it for like potentially 12 years, you have a 12-year loan. Like, are you planning on selling it after you get the rent roll up for like 12 months, so that way you can sell it for a higher price at like a 5-6% capitalization rate? You know what I mean? Um, I guess I'm just not really sure, I guess, what the long term goal is. And it's like, obviously, I chose balanced investing, which gets me around 6.5% dividend yield, which I guess, in the grand scheme of things, is relatively good. It's really well balanced and it's nice because I don't have to deal with any of the phone calls or anything for investing into real estate. But yeah, I guess I expected a little bit more, and so feel free to chime down in the comments below. Maybe I'm being pessimistic, or maybe I'm just giving a true opinion as to like what I think. But and especially if you work at Fundrise, like I'd be more than happy to hear your opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I just don't necessarily know where it is in the platform to look. But it seems like over the past year or so, they've been very concentrated on just like getting their um, like this REIT sort of thing off the ground, where like this lock is. So like, not if you click it, but somewhere where there's like, oh, actually, yeah, if you do click it, there's like potential where you can like look at more and like obviously if I invested, on a monthly basis, it would look a lot better. So I mean, part of the whole thing is just like investing on a monthly basis and everything. But anyway, who knows? I mean, they have a whole bunch of other materials on here that I'm not necessarily taking advantage of, but maybe some frequently asked questions. Who can invest? Can I invest in my IRA? That's a good idea. Never thought about that. What are the fees? That's a good thing that I guess a lot of people have always asked me about. So you're paying about 1% a year in terms of an advisor fee. Um, yes, this is a good question. When can I expect return on my investment, and how will it be distributed? Well, the amount of investing will depend varying on plans, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it says don't expect anything back. If I just read that relatively quick, glancing through that, feel free to pause the screen. Can I redeem my shares? 60-day waiting period. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe they changed the the actual like withdrawal thing or anything like that. But yes, this is what I'm curious about. Okay, so the net asset value per share. Um, so apparently it's supposed to be adjusted on a quarterly or semi-annual basis, but that's also just saying someone would pay for each share, and it may vary widely. Interesting. Not uncommon to see the decline in net asset value go down during the ramp-up period, and tend to make adjustments. Yeah, I think I've looked at this before, so let's take a look at it together. My entire portfolio. Let's see. Yes, investment. Yeah, so this is the whole $1,000 that I have invested, and then here's like the estimated value of it. So everything starts at about $10. So the West Coast has gone down. My income has gone down. This has stayed flat. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is like a wash. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm not even really seeing anything associated with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they're numbers, but like, how do they get this? Like, have they sold something in the East Coast and that's why it's gone up? You know, 0.26 or 26 or what is that? 2.6%? Like, why has it gone up? Like, there's no explanation as to like why it has gone up. Has like something been bought? Has anything? But this is kind of cool. You can see really the portfolio in that respect. Two places in Charlotte, so one's like an A, no, one's like a C, and one's like a D. So that's kind of cool. I apologize. Like this is, I feel like this is me kind of just like ranting, but at the end of the day, I kind of want to give you guys a good idea. Like, what about this growth E-REIT? Let's check that out. So this is where it looks like I'm making the majority. Maybe it's split up a good bit, but it's paying me about $8 since I've invested in it, so it's not too bad. So it looks like it's Colorado, Washington. Looks like near DC area. Some C1. Interesting. Well, let's check out the West Coast. Now I'm kind of curious about the West Coast and what's going on with that one. Sorry, my computer is going a little haywire here at the moment. But about $8.50 in terms of invested capital. Looks like the majority of the places are here are scheduled around the LA area, Glendale. So some of these really nice like places here. We have an A-class acquisition loan. Interesting. Yeah, like so they have these loans. Like, okay, you get paid a decent amount on the loan, but like, what about these construction loans? Like, does this mean I'm getting a little bit of value in the construction, or does it mean just money lended out to the construction company, and I'm just gonna get, you know, kind of like a dividend on that? Construction loan. None of these are like houses. Okay, here's an apartment complex, like, and near Beverly Hills. Like, do they, or near Malibu? Do they ever plan on like selling this at all, or? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in, like buying and selling this real estate, knowing what kind of like cash on cash return I'm getting, and what type of like actual internal rate of return. Because like eventually, I don't plan on investing in like this sort of thing like online. I plan on investing in my own, you know, multifamily properties and stuff like that once I get the ability to. So knowing that kind of stuff and being able to like follow each one of these individual portfolios in each individual apartment complexes, from like the buy to like what they renovated to what the actual rent roll then changed to, you know, that's the kind of stuff that I'd be interested in. But it just seems like they don't go into that level of detail. Maybe because the average investor isn't interested. Like maybe I'm expecting too much. But anyway, that's the Fundrise update. I will probably give another update in another couple months, or if anything changes, or for the positive or the negative. But that's it. Just about 4 or 5% in terms of invested capital, about 10 months or so. I'm expecting a dividend coming up here in about a month and a half, or maybe it said July. Let me just double check. Expecting another 15 or so dollars upcoming in July, it says here. So keep you guys posted, and feel free to always ask in the comments. I'll keep you guys posted without making potentially a video. If it's like, say, August or something, I haven't made a new video and you're curious, I'll give you guys an update. All right, thanks. Yeah, and of course, if you have any other questions or anything about the video, or you want to see a different type of video that I haven't necessarily made yet, feel free to chime in, and I'll be more than happy to see if that's something that I'd be interested in making. All right, guys, have a great night, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.